Hey guys, how's it going? Comparing here. So in Path of Exile, while I've been away, there's been some pretty drastic changes to a few things, and one of the things that's quite relevant to the character that I plan on playing in Path of Exile is the change to cast on damage taken gem. And I can illustrate this to you guys. There we go. This gem can only support skill gems of level 31 or lower. The reason it's 31 is because that's the level requirement of a level 1 cast on damage taken gem, and what they've done is this level scales up as the level requirement of cast on damage taken increases, and this becomes the ceiling for all the other spells. Now it doesn't mean that level 1 cast on damage taken uses a level 1, let's say, elemental weakness. It means that because cast on damage taken at level 1 requires level 31, you can only use a gem that has a requirement of 31 or less and have it trigger. So this kind of makes my discharger a little bit shittier, and I want to show you guys how I've made adjustments, a few things that I'm planning, and generally how the character is working out. Now this is pretty new. I made most of these changes last night in a few hours, gave it a few goes at Catacombs, which is a level 67 zone, and those opinions, the opinions that I'll share with you guys are based on that. So using level 5 curses is no big deal, because you're only using cast on damage taken level 1, they proc just as much as before, and with discharge, when your target is triple cursed, it will fall over. So that part is the same. However, it makes quality on these curses a lot more important, and this is a pretty big deal because 20 quality elemental weakness is not a cheap gem, not in the least. It's probably one of the most valuable gems out there, and the quality is very important because it makes the enemy's resist penalty from 34 to 44. 2 quality gives 1% additional resistance penalty, and that's very important. Flammability, not so important for quality, but still pretty good stuff. Warlords Mark is very important. I think you get like 2 or 3% chance to grant an endurance charge for 1 quality. This bonus scales up as you level the gem, but it scales even more drastically with the quality bonus. And because you can only leave it at level 5, leveling the gem as opposed to getting a quality version is not really an option. So this kind of change makes the character a little bit more expensive than it was before, and it was already pretty expensive. As far as the other gems, I've decided to try a level 12 cast on damage taken, which makes the gem requirement 53. At 53 you can use a 14 cold snap, and I believe you can use a 14 or 15 molten shell, but I'm not sure yet as I'm still leveling this new gem that I've got. I don't know if this will really work out, and the reason is because of the Devouring Totem. Devouring Totem used to be one of the main ways that my character stayed alive. Against few targets, my character would actually not be able to die because Molten Shell kept proccing and Devouring Totem kept leeching. And now this doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So the reason is, Devouring Totem is a totem. The life of the totem is based on the life of the gem, and it's based on level of the gem, and the level of the gem is 12 instead of like 18 or whatever it was before. And as a result, the totem has far less life and dies, a lot quicker. It also spawns 1/3 of the amount because I'm using a level 12 cast on damage taken as opposed to a level 1. And the amount that it leeches is about half of what it was because I could use a max level gem instead of, mid-range level gem. So all these factors added up, Devouring Totem is just kind of like a little boost in health as opposed to a way where you really couldn't die against shitty units. Now, the other thing that kind of is still good is the fact that you can use other support gems and level them up all the way. So for instance, level 18 Life Leech requires level 65. I can still use this and it still works on the active skills because Life Leech does not directly work with cast on damage taken. Cast on damage taken is support. Supports don't help other supports. Okay, sometimes they do, but they usually don't. They do in the case of like increased area and proliferation, something like that. But in general, they don't, and in this case they don't. So you can use a max level Life Leech even if you use a level 1 cast on damage taken. So the percentage that I leech off each individual skill is still high, and that's really important when it comes to input-output equations, when it comes to calculating how much damage Reflect will do. If I had to use a low-level Life Leech, it would have been far worse. So, kind of sucks. The character still plays similar how I did before, but overall, I've found that I can die. against few targets, which is kind of an uneasy feeling when it comes to a life vol-packed character as this one. The swap gems are still the same, still using Fire Pen, Fire Trap, Conk Effect, but the others, when I used to use a Freeze Mine with Prolif, I've decided against that, and I'm going to cast curses, because when it comes to beating bosses, a high level curse is very important, and I'm going to be using Temp Chains, because Temp Chains causes the buffs and debuffs of the target affected by the curse to tick at half the rate. And as a result, when it comes to igniting your target, the ignite will last twice as long and then do twice as much damage for one discharge. This is a very important key when it comes to one-shotting bosses and one-shotting exiles, which this character is capable of. Another thing to keep in mind is the auras. I did level Clarity another couple levels, and I may have to level it even further, or perhaps get a few items that increase my mana regen or something of the same sort. And the reason I've had to do this is because the Devour Totem was regenerating a lot of mana for me before, and is no longer. Devour Totem doesn't proc very much. When it does, it tends to die really quickly, and when it's up, it doesn't really, give me that much mana, at least not nearly as much as it had before. So there's a few more mana issues, and I'll try to balance that out. Kind of when you make a lot of these changes, it's really a thing of practice. I'm going to have to play this character. I'll probably grind out another level in Catacombs, keep it safe, keep it controlled, just so I really get a good grasp of what's going on. Complicated characters in Path of Exile, in my opinion, are the funnest, have the most abuse, when it comes to defeating monsters and all that shit in the game. But they require a lot of patience. They require a lot of, finicky tuning to changes like the one that we've just had. So I'll keep you guys updated with how it's going. Hope you guys enjoy PoE, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.